Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the news from SABA satellite channel from Marib. As we begin the blessed month of Ramadan, may this holy month bring peace, prosperity, and unity to Yemen and the world. Here are tonight's top stories.
President Al-Alimi highlights the path to peace, unity, and comprehensive reforms, urges Yemenis to embrace the opportunity for change.
Member of Presidential Council Al-Arada calls for strength international support for Yemen's recovery amid Houthi violations.
Human Rights Center documents 868 violations in Al-Bayda, calls for immediate international action.
Welcome back, and to details. In a special message for Ramadan, President Rashad Al-Alimi highlights the path to peace, unity, and comprehensive reforms while urging the Yemeni people to embrace the opportunity for change. President Rashad Al-Alimi called on the Yemeni people to seize the opportunity for change in the country, urging wisdom and unity in building a state that protects rights, ensures dignity, and paves the way for future generations. He emphasized that the struggle today is not only against armed insurgency, but also against chaos, corruption, and the detention of resources outside the state institutions.
The president reaffirmed that the new government, led by Prime Minister Shaya Zindani, is committed to restoring state sovereignty, fighting corruption, and improving services, while also focusing on economic recovery. President Al-Alimi acknowledged the critical support from Saudi Arabia, emphasizing that Yemen's relationship with the kingdom is not merely a strategic choice, but a necessity essential for the stability and development of Yemen. He also reaffirmed his full support for the southern issue, calling for an inclusive, peaceful dialogue that acknowledges the rights of all citizens. The president also made a call for solidarity, urging business owners and individuals to contribute to alleviating the suffering of the vulnerable during this holy month.
In a significant message today, member of the Presidential Leadership Council, Major General Sultan Al-Arada, emphasized the urgent need for the international community support for Yemen's efforts to restore its institutions and address the ongoing humanitarian crisis. Speaking with U.S. Ambassador to Yemen, Stephen Fagan, Al-Arada highlighted the counter violations by the Houthi militia backed by Iran, which have further exacerbated the country's dire situation. Al-Arada stressed that the international community must step up its support for Yemen now more than ever, particularly in assisting government and the Presidential Leadership Council in their mission to bring about peace, stability, and prosperity for the Yemeni people.
He called for greater support for economic recovery, including humanitarian aid, and highlighted the severe impact of Houthi actions on Yemen's citizens and international aid workers. Al-Arada also emphasized that these violations reflect the militia's extremist agenda, which undermines the rights and freedoms of Yemenis. The U.S. ambassador reaffirmed Washington's commitment to Yemen's unity and territorial integrity, pledging continued cooperation in addressing Yemen's challenges.
In another meeting with the Yemeni leadership, Abdullah Al-Alimi, member of Presidential Leadership Council, met Ambassador Stephen Fagan to discuss the future of bilateral relations and review the latest developments in Yemen. Dr. Al-Alimi highlighted the importance of continued U.S. support for Yemen's government, particularly in building state capacities and improving basic services in liberated areas. He emphasized the need for international cooperation to restore trust in international financial institutions and support Yemen's economic recovery. The meeting also underscored the importance of the Saudi-sponsored Southern Dialogue for Peace and Stability. Ambassador Fagan reaffirmed U.S. commitment to Yemen's stability and its continued support for the government.
Also in a crucial meeting, Dr. Abdullah Alimi discussed with the EU Ambassador Patrick Simonet the strengthening of Yemen's recovery and humanitarian response. The discussion focused on enhancing EU assistance to build capacities, improve services, and restore trust with international financial institutions. Al-Alimi expressed gratitude for the EU's vital support to Yemen's humanitarian response, especially amid one of the world's most complex crises. He emphasized that the importance of continued support for the Yemeni government to stabilize the situation, including the ongoing efforts in Southern Dialogue and the addressing the energy crisis. Ambassador Simon reaffirmed the EU's commitment to supporting Yemen's stability and peace process.
Prime Minister Shaya Zindani met with the EU and Dutch ambassadors today to discuss European support for Yemen's recovery, focusing on urgent priorities for stability and governance. Prime Minister Zindani emphasized the government's focus on restoring citizens' trust and shifting from crisis management to state governance. He stressed that Yemen's stability now impacts global energy security and international trade, as Zindani called for stronger European involvement, acknowledging Saudi Arabia's support in Yemen's recovery efforts. He also highlighted that the Houthi militia continue to pose a major security threat and warned that any international approach equating the state with militias would undermine peace efforts. The discussion also covered European support for strengthening Yemen's institutions and improving essential services.
Prime Minister Shaya Zindani met with the South Korean ambassador to Yemen, Du Bonkai, to discuss enhancing bilateral cooperation across various sectors, including economic development, capacity building, and institutional support. During the meeting, Prime Minister Zindani thanked South Korea for its continued support for Yemen's sovereignty and its contributions to humanitarian and developmental efforts, particularly in vocational education. He emphasized that the new government is focused on key priorities such as improving basic services, boosting economic stability, and restoring state institutions. Dr. Zindani also highlighted the importance of international partnerships in achieving peace and stability, noting the need for more coordinated support for long-term development projects. The meeting also explored expanding cooperation, particularly in vocational training, reflecting the historical relationship between Yemen and South Korea.
Minister of Public Works Hussein Al-Aqroubi met today with UNOPS representatives to discuss ongoing projects and ways to strengthen cooperation for infrastructure development in Yemen. The meeting also reviewed capacity building initiatives for road maintenance and experimental road assist evaluation projects. Al-Aqroubi praised the partnership with UNOPS and emphasized the importance of accelerating ongoing projects and ensuring they meet technical specifications. UNOPS reaffirmed its commitment to supporting road infrastructure projects and enhancing project management efficiency.
In a meeting focused on strengthening humanitarian law and civilian protection, Governor of Aden Abdulrahman Sheikh emphasized the local authorities' efforts towards stability and partnerships with international organizations. In a meeting with Dawood Hermouj, the acting regional director of Geneva Call, Governor Sheikh discussed ways to enhance cooperation on international humanitarian law and civilian protection. Sheikh highlighted the local authorities' commitment to establishing stability and strengthening the rule of law, emphasizing support for humanitarian initiatives and partnerships with international organizations to safeguard citizens' rights. Hermouj praised the efforts of the local authority in protecting freedom of expression and creating a safe environment for civil rights, noting that the organization is focused on training security forces in international humanitarian law and civilian protection standards.
Ras Center for Rights and Development has documented 868 serious violations committed by Houthi militia forces in Al Bayda Governorate during 2025, with most incidents occurring in the district of Al Qurayshiyya and Rada. The center's report highlights 690 cases of arbitrary detention and kidnapping with military vehicles being used for mass abductions. January saw the highest number of violations, with 612 incidents linked to a military campaign targeting Al Masoudi area in Al Qurayshiyya. The report also details the killing and injury of 14 children and women, the detention of 16 bodies, and damage to 26 homes and 13 mosques. The center calls for immediate international pressure to release detainees and return the bodies of the deceased, describing the situation as a systematic act of collective punishment.
That was the news bulletin from SABA satellite channel from Arab. Thank you for watching and have a good time.
Have a good time.